Kieran Tierney is now a player of Real Sociedad until 2024 and then return to Arsenal and see whether Mikel Arteta will have a position in his team next season. And he has gone ahead and told us how he's ready for the Sociedad experience and ready to impress, to see that maybe Mikel Arteta might really rethink and decide to obviously bring him back at the club of Arsenal. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. This is the football news show as we talk about very many others as far as this is concerned. We are talking about Kepa Arrizabalaga revealing to us that he had very many options and snapped them because of one giant call coming in from a team known as Real Madrid. Graham Potter, who was sacked around March at Chelsea, he's set to obviously get back to the touchline if at all we find a certain manager really sacked. And who is that manager on the verge of being sacked? I'm going to come here and obviously reveal to you who that manager is. So smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, Kieran Tierney, he told us that knowing that Real Madrid wanted to have me here, feeling all the love from the people here was very good. Being in Basque country, having experience of living here and playing in La Liga is something I'm very proud of. I hope things will go very well for me here. That was Kieran Tierney, and he anticipates that things go well for him there. And why does he want things to go for him well that side? Because he knows exactly that if at all they do, he might find himself impressing Mikel Arteta and obviously retaining his position at Arsenal. Secondly, he might get a move to a team that really desires him. We know that teams like Newcastle were interested in him, but they are not willing to meet the realistic evaluation of Arsenal. They are calling in for this guy between 35 to 40 million pounds because the player was not getting what we call ample playing time, and they thought that he would have gone for something less than that. That is Kieran Tierney for you. So he feels that he needs to revive his career. For the previous 2 seasons, Arteta has not been leaving Kieran Tierney a lot at Arsenal, and this has gone ahead to leave what we call a divided opinion amongst the fans of Arsenal and what they think about Mikel Arteta and Kieran Tierney, especially calling in for him to obviously be played on the field of play. But Arteta went ahead and obviously stood his ground and really showed Mikel Arteta and she showed Kieran Tierney that you are not part of my plans. Why? Even when Julian Timber got an injury, he never really brought him to play. In the first 2 games of the Premier League, he was not part of the match squad. That's why it was easy for him to obviously find a move elsewhere to Real Sociedad. Now, he has also gone ahead and obviously hailed the Arsenal captain, that is Martin Odegaard, who was once at Real Sociedad, where Real Madrid loaned him at the age of 17, 18 to obviously play part that side. And he has gone ahead and explained to us the role that Odegaard played to convince him to join Real Sociedad. And this is what he told us. My Arsenal captain, who had played for the club, was able to tell me everything about the club and the city. He thinks it's a great move for me. Martin has been a massive help. I had different options, but told my agent that my heart was set on Sociedad. That is it. So he tells us that it's Martin Odegaard that obviously played that agent role to obviously convince him to obviously go and play for that side called Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad is a very good team, by the way, and they are playing the Champions League. I think obviously that's one of the reasons as to why he found it easy to obviously go and really play that side, because they're the Champions League and he knows that the Champions League is really a dream for every player. And Arsenal having qualified for the Champions League and him being really thrown under the bus by Mikel Arteta, he found it very important for him to go obviously and play in the Champions League. Maybe meets Arsenal in the Champions League, and because he's not exempted from playing the Champions League, maybe he'll show them that this is what you are missing from a player like me. Then Tierney also added and said, from the first moment I arrived, I knew it was 100% for me. everyone has made me feel wanted. There is a few Spanish coaches at Arsenal, and they all said that personally and professionally, I would love Sociedad. They felt it was a great move. It was a great moment to go there. Obviously, Arsenal had to send him that side because you know that he's going to thrive. He's a technically gifted player, but I think he's more of a traditional left back, but that has been used as an scapegoat, I think, for me, because he has shown us that he can do better than a traditional left back. But because Arteta has Julian Timber, Zinchenko, there is Jakub Kivio, Tomiyasu, whom he believes can do a better job than Kieran Tierney into this position, I think that's what really went ahead to obviously throw in a very huge difference for him to leave the club of Arsenal, and maybe Arteta told him, please leave the club, and obviously you have no place to play into this team. So that's all about Kieran Tierney and his excitement at Real Sociedad, and he cannot wait to impress. Let's talk another person known as Kepa Arrizabalaga, the goalkeeper of Chelsea, who was loaned to Real Madrid, and he had some stories to put out today that was put out by Fabrizio Romano, and this is what he had to say. Pochettino wanted me to stay. He told me that I was going to play, that he trusted me, but I wanted change. Tuchel also called me from Bayern Munich, and it was close. But when Real Madrid comes in, it is Real Madrid, he told Marca. So for players like him, you don't blame them even when they talk about Real Madrid and going to play for them. Remember, I think they signed him from Real Madrid, that is Chelsea, for 80 million euros. And having signed him from that side, he went ahead and obviously never had a very beautiful spell that really forced Frank Lampard to sign a new goalkeeper, that is Eduardo Mendy. But I know why he went to Real Madrid. Madrid is looked at one of the biggest teams in the city of Madrid. So him growing up at Atletico Madrid and playing for Real Madrid is a dream come true. Secondly, if you want to become the first choice goalkeeper of Spain, all what you have to do is simple. Be the first choice goalkeeper of Real Madrid, and the rest will be history. So I think him going that side just guarantees him a start into the side of the Spain and Real Madrid. But we wait and see what happens when Thibaut Courtois really returns after the ACL injury recovers, because we know that 6 months from now he's going to have returned, and we don't know what Kepa Arrizabalaga is going to do. Will he keep the position? We wait and see whether he will or not, and that will be really shown to us by the manager of Chelsea, that is Carlo Ancelotti. But that's all about Kepa Arrizabalaga, and he went to Real Madrid after Thibaut Courtois really got an ACL injury, and the same applies to Bayern Munich, why it wanted him, because Manuel Neuer had not yet recovered to full fitness to obviously get himself to where they want to be, and they are trying to obviously get in other people, but Kepa Arrizabalaga decided to join the side of Real Madrid. And lastly, let's talk about Graham Potter, a manager who really joined Chelsea and then got sacked in a space of were they 6 months, Finally, there is a job waiting for him, and he might see himself go to France to obviously coach that side. Jacobs Ben has confirmed to us that Graham Potter has emerged as a leading candidate to replace Laurent Blanc should the Lyon manager be sacked. John Textor is using the international break to explore replacements. Bruno Raj, Thiago Motta, and Will Steele also being considered. Now, when you look at Graham Potter, when he was going to Chelsea, I really came out on this channel and told you guys I wouldn't have advised him to really have a move like that. It was really a hurry move that it was full of rush for him to go ahead and obviously make, because he deserved better and would have gone ahead to obviously do more at Brighton, because the project at Brighton had reached the fruition stage. He was here to harvest and obviously be there, because you look at the Brighton and their setup, they can obviously come and compete easily for the title in the next 2-3 years. Look at what De Zerbi is doing at Brighton. The players they're really bringing are really sensational. Their scouting team is really great. I saw that it was a wrong move. at a wrong time. You know, he would have wanted to start Brighton, gain that experience, and amongst all teams, he chose a team that was really in turmoil. You know, the team was really having problems. So that is all about Graham Potter, and it looks like he's going to find himself a job, if at all Laura Blah is really sacked. So guys, your thoughts on to Graham Potter nearly becoming the new manager of that side known as Lyon. I welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Kieran Tierney obviously telling us that he's excited to impress at his side known as Real Sociedad? And lastly, what do you make about Kepa as a Balaga, the goalkeeper of Real Madrid that was got from Chelsea on loan? I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later, my Muslim viewers and subscribers. Barak Lau Fikum. Ciao, ciao.